I'm about to make the most terrible mistake. Probably end in tears.
What?
Confide in a man. You're right, of course. Coming here hasn't worked out. It's just not me. At the same time, I can't go back to England. There's really nothing for me there either.
You're kind of homeless, then?
I need to get away. Somewhere nice, somewhere I can get my head together and work out what to do with my ridiculous life. Your offer of hospitality at the Cape, it sounds like a hot tub overlooking the ocean might be the perfect place to think.
Especially if there's someone alongside to pour champagne. In which case, I wonder, my little secret
becomes our little secret.
What do you think?
She's got a temperature like I've never seen. Vomiting, diarrhea.
This could invalidate the trial.
It could invalidate her life too, Trevor.
Sorry, I just meant...
Look, is there any chance that your drug could have caused this?
Absolutely not. But she must have picked up some kind of virus in the bush.
Well, the first thing to do is get the temperature down and hope the fever burns itself out.
You are a fool to take off in an aeroplane without enough fuel.
I usually get my manager to fly me down. I shouldn't be allowed any machinery. Hopeless driver, too.
Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of that for us.
Once parked a car in Joburg, came back, found this note on the windscreen. Parking fine, it said. Thought that was rather nice.
Do you have to be so relentlessly jolly?
Never happy, are you? Yesterday you had a go at me for being miserable. Now
We've got a dying cheetah, Caroline, and I don't know what's killing her.
What do you expect me to do about it?
Forget it.
Before you go, I've an announcement to make. Tomorrow, I'll be leaving you all. Gerald has kindly invited me to be his guest in his house on the coast. I don't know when, or indeed if, I'll be back.
Well, that's...
Just stupid.
Best of luck, Gerald.
Mum? Are you sure about all this? I mean, it all seems so sudden. I'm sure Gerald's a nice guy and everything, but
This is an interesting reversal of roles.
we just don't want you to get hurt, that's all.
Perhaps I already was. And lonely. Maybe that's why I like Gerald so much. Despite his money, he seems the same.
What is going on here?
Come on, it's not that bad a place.
3 years down the pan, Rosie, because of that cheetah. I thought I was clear. I thought I'd won.
You will. Just hang on in there.
Looks like you two are having a really fun time. How'd you do it, Rosie?
Trevor, this is Max. You should get on great. Trevor here is a world expert on worms. Max is one. Hey, the sun just came out.
Vader,
We pulled you from that plane, took you in and cared for you, yet you go behind our backs to smuggle that chimp into our compound and you use our children to do it.
Come on, Danny. It's not such a big deal, is it? I thought you'd be delighted to have a little chimp like Archie on your reserve.
Archie? Did you know about him too?
Yes, well, what's the problem?
Chimps aren't indigenous to South Africa. We don't know anything about the animal, where he's been, what he might be carrying.
Danny, you'd better come.
You wait here.
I came in to take a blood sample, and this is how I found her.
She's been dead for hours. What caused this?
I've got a good idea. What are the classic carriers of viruses? Primates.
We have an outbreak of a lethal and unidentified virus.
Couldn't be Ebola, could it?
Danny?
Impossible. But we have to stop whatever it is from spreading, so I'm implementing various precautions whilst Trevor sends away samples for testing. The animals in the holding pen will go into immediate quarantine. The only people allowed into contact with them will be Duplessis, Trevor, Rosie and me. Viruses like this usually spread by blood-to-blood contamination, which means that it's not just the animals that are going into quarantine, so are we. Nobody leaves here for the duration.
But Archie and I are going to the coast today. And Caroline, of course.
I said no one. Did Archie have any cuts or grazes when you brought him back here?
He had one on his elbow.
He's a pet. We've been nowhere he could have got this virus. We're from Petersburg, for God's sake.
I'm not going to argue with you, Gerald. Right, we've got things to do.
Danny?
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, that's all good.
Nothing.
You sure? No cuts, grazes, scratches?
I checked 3 times.
Okay, right, you two, come here. Now, I'm not angry with you, but I want you to tell me the absolute truth. Right? It's very, very important. Now, when you went to the plane and you brought Archie back here, did you touch him? Olivia? Did you touch him? Tell me.
I touched his hand!
Sarah, examine her again. The slightest cut or scratch.
Gerald, this is getting out of hand. It may not suit me here, but I'm worried about my family, especially the grandchildren. Now, if there's anything else you haven't told me, now is the time. Do you understand? So?
Only a small detail, tiny thing, really. I came from the Congo, not Swaziland. Civil war started 10 years ago, never really stopped.
Go on.
A few days ago, a local warlord turns up with his gang, armed with guns and machetes. Gave me a choice. Either I could give him the place and he'd let me leave, refuse, and he'd kill me. I opted to leave. He said I could take one thing with me. I chose Archie. You're not going to turn me in, are you? There's no way Archie's carrying any virus.